All right, this is the third video. Hopefully you're watching in order so things make sense. So this is the third video. So if you haven't seen the first and second, please go watch that. Um, Again, this is the third video for No Need for Love Songs, and I'm making short clips to just talk to you about key points that are in the book that I'm writing called No Need for Love Songs. Um, and one of the things I was saying in the last video was simply that you have to learn how to value yourself, because if you don't value yourself, you'll end up with anyone that'll treat you any kind of way. Um, One of the things, like, I would say this: know what you bring to the table. If you are energetic, if you know you're a creative person, and you know that you bring stability to the relationship, or you're stable in your own life, that those are things of value. Now, I know that it seems cool for two people to get together and start at the bottom and work their way up, and that is actually the way things are. That's cool. That's actually very commendable for two people to come together and build a life together, because that's what you're doing. But you need to understand is that you can build a life on your own, by yourself, with no one. You don't have to be in a relationship. You don't absolutely have to get married. But should you want to get married, you need to be with someone that enhances your life, not bring you down, not cause you to settle, not burdens your life. You want to be with someone that can bring you up, that can make you better, that inspires you, that motivates you, that says, hey, let's work together. You're really building a team. And then when you have children, your children become part of your team. This becomes your family. And you'll be hearing those beeps throughout the message, because people Facebook me questions and things like that about different stuff, which is really cool. So please, if you ever want to message me something, do so, because I really want to make sure the book has information that's valuable to you. But one of the things that I know is that a lot of people confuse love and sex. Sex is not love. It's not. This is what love is. Say you get married, or say you find someone, you've been in love with them, and this is actually a situation that I've seen. The couple was together since high school. They get married. They wonderful relationship. The woman ends up getting in a car accident and becomes paralyzed from the waist down. I mean, from the neck down. Um, and I'm sorry, from the waist down. From the waist down. And the husband freaks out. He leaves because he says he's not. He loves her too much to see her like that. 2 months later, after their divorce, they get divorced. 2 months later, he's remarried to someone else, and starts a family with his new wife. Um, and when I was talking to the the uh, the girl, the woman that was paralyzed, and I asked her how she felt. Of course, she struggled with depression and said that who's going to want someone, who's paralyzed? Who's going to want to be with somebody like this? Well, what ends up happening is that she had to go to physical therapy to try to learn how to walk again, to see if it was possible for her to walk again. And she ends up falling in love with her physical therapist, and her physical therapist ends up falling in love with her, and now they're married and they have a happy family together. And she was able to come out of this. But one of the things when I did the interview with her and talked to her, and I said, well, what was this transition like? And she realized that for so long she thought, just because everything was good, that they had the perfect relationship. But then she found out that it wasn't good, because she realized it wasn't real love. Because love will make you will want to stick by your mate and go through the fire for them. You'll go through anything for them. And she realized how much of her life was really with someone who was, as soon as something really bad happened, they bailed and left her. She did not know that her husband was a coward, and she was in love with him for years. But because everything was good, everything was good, it was easy for her to be deceived and think that she had love. Love will be there when things are not going good. Love will be there when all hell is breaking loose. That's the one thing you can depend on. And this is why I say you can you don't have to be in a relationship at all. But what you do need to understand is that you are entirely too valuable to be in a relationship with someone that will bail on you as soon as things get tough. As soon as things get hard, they will bail on you. As soon as things get a little confusing, they will bail on you. You got to make sure that you have a person that will stick with you no matter what. And you have to be able to see the right things. If you're with someone, if you're with someone because they make you feel good, and that's anyone can do that. Anyone can make you feel good. You can be if that's what you're uh, measuring love off of, and you haven't been through anything real, you haven't had any real hard time. That measuring stick is cut off. You know you can depend on that person for the good times, and that's all the information you have. You've got to be able to know, can you depend on this person in the bad times? Will they be there for you? Will they still love you? Will they work with you? Will they help you? This is why you want to be transparent. You want to be honest. You don't want to put on a show to make a person attracted to you, because then when you find out, what they're really made out of, you've already set yourself up. The other thing is you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're constantly being degraded. Being degraded is something that should never happen in a successful relationship. When people start calling you names and dogging you out and things like that, you got to know your value and say, I'm not putting up with this. I'm not putting up with this. And that's one of the issues that a lot of people have, especially in the dating part. They ignore that and say, oh, things will get better when we get married. No, you need to take that point and say, hey, you degrade me. Will you degrade me when things go bad? Will you degrade me when things aren't right? Will you treat me poorly when things don't go the way you expect them to go? That's very important. Also, I want to tell you this. I'm trying to figure out the right way to say it. You know, um, you've got to be very careful with your heart. Every person you give your heart to, it makes it harder for you to be with the person that you should be with. So when you're dating, if you go all in every time you're dating, you go all in. Dating is for this. You're discovering whether or not this person is going to be your mate. If you give the person you're dating your best and it's not your husband, by the time you get, or it's not your wife, by the time you get to the person that you are supposed to be with, you're going to be so depleted and your judgment's going to be off. You're going to become numb inside. You're not even going to want to deal with a relationship. You're still going to want love though, but you're not going to want to deal with a relationship, and you're probably going to treat the right person for you with neglect. You're probably going to treat the right person, the person that will love you and take care of you and be there for you. 9 times out of 10, you're going to mistreat that person because you're so distorted and so exhausted because you gave yourself to the wrong person, or to so many of the wrong people. And by the time you meet the person you're supposed to be with, you'll be exhausted and you'll mistreat them. So be careful who you date. Make sure you value yourself enough to know that, one, you don't have to be in a relationship, that you can make it by yourself. Create a line of stability for yourself. And then what you do when you meet someone is you bring two lives come together, two stable lives come together to create more stability to build a healthy family. Now, this can be done even if you come from a dysfunctional home, or this can be done. It's really not about your past. It's about the mindset that you have to move on and create a better future for you and your future family, or the family you already have. But it's very important that you make sure that you value yourself first, because that's the foundation of any successful relationship, is you valuing you.